Hey everyone, welcome back to Instrumentation Lectures. In the last video, we discussed about ohm meters and we learned the basics of it. In this video, we will be continuing our discussion on ohm meters and we will study about series type ohm meters. So, I suggest everyone to watch the previous video before watching this one. Link to that video is available in the description. Or if you are familiar with the basics, you can hop in with your appropriate background knowledge. Okay, so far we had learned that the scale of an ohm meter is from right to left with Rx equal to infinity at extreme left and the desired value at extreme right is Rx equal to 0. But how do we make Rx equal to 0 at this end of the scale? Also, how do we use ohm meter to measure resistances at different range? We will learn about this now. So let's start our lecture. We had seen that the connection diagram of an ohm meter has an ammeter, a battery of known voltage, and the unknown resistance. Now, the practical circuit has a slight variation as we have to take the internal resistances of battery, ammeter, and the resistance of wires into account. So, a practical circuit of ohm meter will look like this. Now, this circuit diagram looks very clumsy. So, to make it look simple, I am clubbing together this Ri, Rs and Ra into a single resistance and denoting it as Ru. So, Ru is equal to Ri plus Rs plus Ra. We also learned that the total internal resistance of an ohm meter is the sum total of all resistances in the circuit except Rx. So, the total internal resistance Ri in this case is equal to Ru. So, equal to Ru. We also studied that the scale of an ohm meter is non-uniform, ranging ideally from Rx equal to 0 at the extreme right to Rx equal to infinity at the extreme left. Also, we had seen that only the central region of the scale is suitable for measurements with good accuracy, and the central point of the scale denotes resistance equal to the total internal resistance Ri of the circuit provided that Rx equal to 0 at the extreme right. So, suppose we are measuring a resistance whose magnitude is around 1 kilo ohm. It is best to set the value of Ri to 1 kilo ohm so that the central point of the ohm meter scale denotes 1 kilo ohm and the reading occurs in the central region of the scale. Similarly, if we are measuring a resistance around 100 kilo ohm, we should make Ri set to 100 kilo ohm to ensure accurate measurement. But how do we adjust the value of Ri? If you remember the last video, we had seen that the total internal resistance Ri is the sum of all other resistances present in the circuit except the unknown resistance Rx. So, if we add an additional series resistance into the circuit like this and name it as R1, then the total internal resistance of this circuit will become Ri equal to Ru plus R1. To make it more clear, let's say the value of Ru is 10 ohm in this circuit, okay? And we want to measure a 1 kilo ohm resistance using this circuit. So what we do is, we set the value of R1 equal to 990 ohm. So the total internal resistance Ri of the circuit becomes Ru equal to 10 ohm plus R1 equal to 990 ohm, which is 1 kilo ohm. And this is close to the tentative value of unknown resistance Rx. Therefore, we will be able to measure the resistance in the central region of the scale and therefore accuracy is ensured. Okay, so once again, the desirable conditions for an ohm meter are Rx equal to 0 should correspond to the extreme right position of the scale. Secondly, R internal should be approximately equal to R unknown. That is, the central position of the scale should indicate a value tentatively close to Rx. We had already seen how to satisfy the second conditions. All we have to do is adjust the value of R1 to adjust the value of Ri and thereby make Ri close to Rx. Now let's see how to satisfy the first condition. For that, let's redraw the circuit again. Here, Rx is the unknown resistance, R1 is the resistance used to adjust Ri, that is, R1 is the resistance used to adjust Ri, and Ru is equal to Ra plus Ri plus Rz. Note that this Ri is small ri denoting the internal resistance of battery E and should not be confused with capital Ri. Okay. Now we will add a shunt resistance R2 to the circuit like this. This R2 will bypass some of the main current in the circuit through it. So if we denote the current in main circuit as IT, then some current Im will flow through the meter and rest of the current Is will flow through the shunt resistance R2. Now what we do is, we short the terminals AB, that is, we make Rx equal to 0. Then we adjust the value of R2 until the pointer is at the extreme right of the scale, that is, until the pointer indicates full scale deflection. Thus we ensured that Rx equal to 0 corresponds to the extreme right position. Now since we are using R2 to adjust the meter, R2 is called zero adjust resistor, that is, zero adjust resistor. Also, as discussed before, R1 is used to adjust the value of Ri. Now this particular arrangement of ohm meter is called series type ohm meter. Series type ohm meter. Okay, now let's see an example on series type ohm meter to understand it better. An ohm meter uses a 50 ohm PMMC meter requiring a full scale current of 1 milliampere. The internal battery is 3 volt with an internal resistance of 1 ohm. The desired scale marking for half scale deflection is 2000 ohms. Calculate the value of R1 and R2. Okay, so first let us note down the given values. It says the ohm meter uses a 50 ohm PMMC meter. That means the internal resistance of the meter Rm is equal to 50 ohm, and Rm denotes the internal resistance of meter. Also it says the PMMC meter requires a full scale current of 1 milliampere. Therefore, Im at FSD is equal to 1 milliampere, and for simplicity I am denoting this as IMF. Okay. Now it is given that the internal battery is 3 volt with an internal resistance of 1 ohm. So E is equal to 3 volt and Ri, that is internal resistance of battery, is equal to 1 ohm. Next it says that the desired scale marking for half scale deflection is 2000 ohms. We know that half scale deflection indicates the internal resistance of ohm meter Ri. So Ri is equal to 2000 ohms. Now let's proceed to find the value of R2. We know that full scale deflection occurs at Rx equal to 0. So when full scale current of 1 milliampere flows through the meter, the value of Rx is equal to 0. Therefore, the terminals A and B are shorted. Now the current in the circuit I total is fully determined by the total internal resistance Ri of the circuit. So we can write I total is equal to E by Ri, and this is at Rx equal to 0 or at FSD. And also let us name this equation as equation number 1. Now this current IT is split into Im and Is. So using current division rule, we can write Im is equal to IT into R2 by R2 plus Rm. We know that Im FSD is equal to 1 milliampere. So this is equal to 1 milliampere at full scale reflection. Now using equation 1, we can substitute this IT with E by Ri. Therefore we have Im equal to E by Ri into R2 by R2 plus Rm. Now let's start putting the values of these variables into this equation. So we know Im is 1 milliampere. So 1 milliampere is equal to E is 3 volt. Therefore 3 volt by Ri is 2000 ohm. So 2000 ohm into R2 by R2 plus Rm, and this equals 3 volt by 2000 ohm is 3 by 2 milliampere into R2 by R2 plus Rm. We can cancel out these milliamperes, which leaves us with 2 times R2 plus Rm is equal to 3 times R2, or R2 is equal to 2 times Rm. Therefore, the value of R2 is equal to 2 into 50 ohm, which is 100 ohms. Now there is also another way to find the value of R2. Let me also show that to you. The total battery current IT at full scale reflection can be calculated using equation 1. Therefore, using equation 1, IT is equal to 3 volt by 2000 ohm, which is 1.5 milliampere. We also know that at full scale reflection, meter current Im is 1 milliampere. Therefore, current through resistor R2 can be obtained as Is equal to IT minus Im, which is 1.5 milliampere minus 1 milliampere, which is 0.5 milliampere. Now the resistance R2 and the meter are in parallel. So the voltage across R2 and the voltage across the meter is same. So we can write VR2, which is the voltage across resistor R2, equal to Vm, which is the voltage across the meter. Now VR2 can be written as Is into R2 and V meter can be written as Im into Rm, and these are equal. Now using this equation we can write R2 is equal to Im Rm by Is, and we know that Im at full scale reflection is 1 milliampere. The value of Rm is given as 50 ohm by Is we just found as 0.5 milliampere, therefore 0.5 milliampere, and this is equal to 100 ohms. So we have seen two methods to find the value of R2. You can use the method which you find easier. Let us now proceed to find the value of R1. Like I said before, the total internal resistance Ri is the sum of resistances R1, Ru and the parallel combination of R2 and Rm. So we can write Ri is equal to R1 plus Ru plus parallel combination of Rm and R2. Here Ru is equal to this small ri, that is 1 ohm. So we can write as R1 plus Ri plus parallel combination of Rm and R2. Therefore, R1 is equal to Ri minus small ri minus Rm into R2 by Rm plus R2. Now we had seen that R2 is equal to 2Rm. Therefore, substituting that here gives us Ri minus small ri minus 2Rm square by 3Rm, and we can cancel this. So substituting the values gives us Ri is 2000 ohm, therefore 2000 ohm, and small ri is 1 ohm, minus 1 ohm minus 2 times Rm is 50 ohm. So 50 ohm by 3. And calculating this expression gives us 1965.667 ohm. So for this question we have found out that R1 is 1965.667 ohm and R2 is 100 ohm. Okay. Now before ending the lecture, let's discuss one more thing. In the last video we learned that one of the drawbacks of ohmmeter is that if the battery EMF varies during measurement, it will result in inaccurate measurement. So ideally E should be kept constant. But in real life, the voltage of battery decreases with time and age. As a result, the full scale current value decreases and the meter does not reach 0 ohm when the terminals A and B are shorted. However, to an extent we can counteract this change in voltage by adjusting the value of R2. It is also possible to bring the pointer back to full scale by adjusting the value of R1. But do not do this as it would change the calibration all along the scale of the meter. So it is advisable only to adjust resistance R2 to compensate the decrease in voltage. That's all for this lecture. If we recall what all we studied in this lecture, we learned about series type ohm meter and had seen that using resistances R1 and R2, we can satisfy our two criteria that Rx equal to 0 should correspond to the extreme right position of scale and R internal should be made close to the tentative value of Rx. Later, we also learned how to find the value of R1 and R2 for a given ohm meter. Now, if you have any doubt, feel free to ask them in the comments so that either me or some other viewer can help you. Also, if you found the lecture useful, please like the video and also support us by subscribing to the channel. In the next video, we will study about shunt type ohm meter. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.